Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be driving out to a state park in Georgia and meeting up with my boy Drew to shoot some cool footage and take some cool photos. And I thought I'd take this as an opportunity to share with you 3 tips that are easy and simple that you can apply to your filmmaking today, but that have completely transformed and upgraded the way that I create videos and the way that I film in particular. So, let's get to it. Another one on the way. So I've made it to the state park we're checking out today. Conditions kind of suck. It's super sunny, which you know I do not enjoy, but fall colors are looking really nice. They shouldn't be, because it's late November. Fall colors should be gone by now, but they're still here. I'm not complaining. But right now I'm just chilling in the parking lot waiting on my boy Drew to get here so we can go shoot this video and share some knowledge with you. What's good? So if I had to give you one technique in this video that's super easy but that'll still completely transform the visuals you're shooting, it's foreground. Just having objects in the foreground right in front of the lens. So right now I'm getting a shot of Drew with the 85mm lens. He's on this rock over here, and what I'm gonna do is use these red and green leaves and put them in the foreground so we can get a parallax camera motion and just have a more interesting shot. So we're about halfway through these 300 steps down to the bridge right now, and I wanted to share another piece of advice with you, which is super simple, and it's just to expose properly. If you expose incorrectly, get it too dark or too bright, then you could introduce grain and lose detail throughout your image. The best rule of thumb for exposing your shot properly is to overexpose by 2 stops, especially with flat footage or log footage. So just look at that light meter on your camera LCD and get it to 2 stops above 0. So you're overexposing a bit and compensating for the loss of detail in the shadows. This is the best way to avoid having a grainy shot or losing that detail. And sometimes it does hurt to do this. If you're shooting in low light conditions, you're gonna have to crank up your ISO, but you might as well do it because either way you're gonna have to brighten it artificially, either in the edit or in your camera. And if you're shooting in bright conditions like this, to keep shadow detail, you might lose a bit of detail in the highlights or the sky, but honestly, you just have to do it or you're gonna regret it in the edit. Sorry.
Regret it in the edit, I like that.
made it to the suspension bridge, I wanted to share one final piece of advice with you in this video, and that's to ask yourself 2 questions for every single shot. What is the subject and how are you isolating it. There are of course exceptions to every rule, but I think as a general rule, every single shot in your video should have a subject, not necessarily a person, but something in the frame should stick out from everything else. You can use all the different elements of filmmaking like composition, color, lighting, depth of field, and everything in between, or all of them at the same time, to isolate that subject and draw the viewer's attention to it. In our particular case, I'm shooting a shot of Drew back here on the bridge, and I'm using the leading lines of the bridge to draw the eye to him. He's the subject of the shot, and I'm isolating him by having these lines lead up to him. But it's not all about composition. Another great way to isolate a subject really well in your shot is by using negative space, where a large part of the frame kind of blends together into one area. You can create negative space a bunch of different ways, like having the background be all one color, using lighting to create some fall off in the background, or one of my favorite ways, by using a shallow depth of field where that background is all blurred out and the subject is the only thing in focus. It really draws the viewer's eye straight to that subject.
It's gonna look so good.
I actually can't take Drew anywhere. Now that we're hiking out and everyone's out of breath, I figured this would be a good opportunity to give Drew a chance to tell you guys some valuable information. So Drew, if there's one thing... I'm out of breath, dude.
Jeez, that's the worst. Okay.
We've got like 200 more to go. If there's one thing you've learned that's easy, that's simple, but that's completely changed the way you shoot videos, go.
All right. If there's one thing I had to really tell you guys, it's basically break your videos down to 3 parts: movement, color, and sound. If you're missing one of those, you're missing 33% of your entire video. Add sound design. Sound design is a huge thing that I love. It makes the video feel so much more engulfing. Colors, make sure you adjust your colors, and add movement into your shots. That's how you're gonna consume your audience.
Boom.
Whew, dude, I'm so out of breath. I didn't even mean to leave. I'm just out of it, dude. I'm so out of breath.
And as you can infer, we survived. We made it back to the parking lot. You've heard from me, you've heard from Drew. Hopefully you're a little bit more informed now. And what I want you to do is comment on this video and tell me and tell everyone else watching and reading the comments the one thing that's helped you the most and that's simple but that's had the biggest effect on the way that you create videos. So we can all, learn from each other's techniques and get smarter together. So go do that and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.